Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I have really been excited about our next guest, David Pottruck, and he is a former CEO of Charles Schwab and a well-known leader, particularly in the financial community, but also in the entire leadership development arena. And I'm delighted to have him as a guest on our program. You know, David, people make a lot of money, and I got a copy of your book. I just recently got it. I'm looking forward to spending some time with it. But people make a lot of money in the financial industry, and to leave that industry to go into, really leadership development, to me, in my opinion, has to speak a lot about some internal fire and internal passion that would drive an individual to do that. And tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, Kevin, good morning. It's nice to be with you guys today. I appreciate the opportunity. Well, during the time I was at Schwab, the company started when I joined them. Our company was pretty small. We had less than 1,000 people. When I left, we had 15,000 people, and that was down from over 20 at our peak. It was a great run, and what I learned during that time was business success is all about team. It's all about the people you have. At the end of the day, your strategy evolves, things change, conditions change, the people change as well. But the quality, the passion, the energy, the commitment, the creativity of the people are the key. And so you've got to create a culture in which people love coming to work, love being a part of whatever you're creating, and feel connected to the mission of the company.
Yeah, no question about it. No question about it. And you still remain in the financial services with your own field, but I love this work that you've done in developing leaderships. Talk about how do you lead breakthrough change? It seemed like the larger the organization, the more difficult it is to have that kind of change. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I've been teaching a course at the Wharton School in their MBA program for almost a decade, and over that time, my thinking on this has frankly evolved from my experiences at Schwab to the experiences I've had more recently building new companies, earlier stage companies, and inviting some of my friends to come in as guest lecturers in my course. All of that got wrapped into my book, Stacking the Deck: How to Lead Breakthrough Change Against All Odds. But what I've realized is that at the essence of it, leading breakthrough change is about three things. It's about, number one, having a leadership style that can inspire people to want to be a part of something big and important. Number two, it's about having a process that builds momentum. And in my book, I lay out a 9-step process that I believe builds momentum. You have to keep building because there's so much inertia and there's so much resistance. Big companies are so resistant to change. Even small companies are resistant to change. People don't like change. So we have to figure out how do we build momentum. And third is that component of people. How do we get people to come and want to be a part of this great thing that we're trying to create?
Yeah, you know what? The way I look at it, Dave, is that there really needs to be significant payoff for change, and so how do you convey the value to a company for that change? People focus, I think, in my opinion, they focus on so much on the tactical that they fail to miss the ultimate objective of the changes. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's really interesting, Kevin, because, in big companies, these change projects are really hard. They take a long time. They're very difficult. And the payoffs, actually, the tangible payoff, the money you get, if that's what we want to focus on, the tangible payoff you get from succeeding in a 3-year big technical change project of some sort is really never worth the time, the energy, and the passion that's required to make that change. So there's got to be something more to it. And as the leader, you have to convince people that we're going to create something really important. We're going to do something worthwhile. We're going to learn. We're going to grow. Ourselves, our own skills as executives are going to get better. Our careers are going to be enhanced. And more importantly, we're going to create a contribution to our company that's going to make a difference to the lives of our employees and also to the lives of our customers. You have to keep coming back to to the purpose. What is the purpose? What is the contribution? What is the difference that we're going to be making? That payoff has to feel more intrinsic. It has to feel more inspirational than motivational, which is about money.
Yeah, absolutely. Not everything, has a financial reward, but that certainly seems to be what motivates most. And so, but you've got to inspire something deeper, something, or even at a higher level when you're trying to get that and trying to incorporate that. And it could be a better company, a better culture, better values in general. And that's an interesting task. So what, there's a lot of different things someone with your background, Dave, could have talked about. What was it in particular about this that drove you to write this book, Stacking the Deck, How to Lead Breakthrough Change Against Any Odds?
Well, it's been such a pleasure for me to work with students. My average MBA student is 35 years old. They're carrying a full-time job. They're getting their MBAs on weekends, and they're incredibly motivated, and it's just really inspiring to me to work with students like this. But I couldn't find a book that was written by an operator. All the books I found to use with my students were written by professors and consultants, and they were all good. But I wanted something more from the perspective that I had from my life, an operator, someone who's been in the trenches, and someone who knows what it means to fail. A lot of my change projects didn't come in on budget, on time, with full benefits. They came up short, and I learned from those experiences. And the people I have come in to my class to teach and to lecture, they've also learned from their experiences where things didn't turn out exactly as you planned. And one of the lessons for my students is, life goes on. You don't die.
Yes.
If the project doesn't work fully, you don't die. You pick up the pieces, you learn from your mistakes, and maybe version 2.0 will be the big success you were hoping for.
Dave, I got to wrap it up. Dave Pottruck, he is chairman of Hightower Advisors, formerly with Charles Schwab, best-selling author, and now has a brand new book, Stacking the Deck, that I can highly recommend. Thanks so much, Dave, for being with us.
Thanks for the opportunity. Take care.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com, and this is The Price of Business.